Hi, this is Samia from Henna Fixation with your dose of Henna Fix, and this video is about balancing your work and creative life. So before I lay out what my views are on this, I do want to clarify that this is something that I'm figuring out for myself. And maybe this is a video for me and for you where we can kind of hash things out and see how we can find that balance. I think at the end though, you don't really find the perfect balance. I think that's like a destination that keeps moving forward. You don't really reach that because there's some things are always changing. Your priorities are always changing. Something is gonna, go here to here. So in the end, you can't really say that you found that perfect balance, but you can say that, hey, you know what? I found my way. I have a method in which I can achieve it regardless of how the circumstances are changing around me. And I think especially as business owners, sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming, the business side of it. Whether it's a henna business or whatever, the end result is that you have to put a lot of time into the business. If you're going outside to a company to work, you're coming back at like 5 or 6 or whatever in the evening, and you're not worried about the company's image. You're not worried about what the company is doing in their downtime. That's not something that you do, but if you have your own business, that's something that you're going to find yourself involved with. Maintaining the online profiles, just engaging with the people, and just, churning out new content as often as you can. And so that can be a little bit difficult. And balancing that with just, life in general, and especially if you are trying to be creative. A creative individual, I think we as creative people can feel the burnout. I don't know how true it is for everyone else, but I can speak for myself that there is a little bit of a burnout sometimes because that business side is taking a little bit too much of the fun out of it. And so I want to talk about today is how you can still find joy while being in this situation. I think the number one thing to focus on is gratitude. And it sounds cheesy. It sounds like, oh my God, everyone says that. But really, when you're talking about balancing two different things, it's going back to your mentality, how you're viewing them. Are you viewing them as a burden, or are you viewing them as an opportunity? But this is all about your mindset. It's really not about the thing itself, but it's about how you're perceiving it to be. So I think one of the best ways to achieve a positive outlook onto anything is by being grateful for it. You don't have to be a believer in someone high up there. You don't have to believe in anything specific, but it's just channeling yourself to see this as a blessing or an opportunity, saying, hey, you know what, this is something really that's positive into my life. This is really helping me out in this way and that way. And so if you are feeling a little bit of a slump, then I think really revert back to the practice of gratitude. Find a journal that you want to work on, and focus on doing this at multiple times a week. And I would say to do it every day if you can, just while you're waking up or in the middle of the day. Waking up is the best way to do it. Because if you are going to wake up with this positive attitude, that means you're going to get out there and really put your best effort into it. And what gratitude does, again, is changing your mindset of the current situation. So that does not mean the situation is going to necessarily change, but what it's going to make you feel is a little bit better doing it or being part of that scenario. Another way to be balanced is to organize yourself, because our mind can only take so much. And I think you probably have seen those images in which they have like this brain capacity of a person who's just leaving the classroom, or is just, finishing watching whatever informative video, like this one that you're watching. Brain is full, so much information, yeah. But then like a couple of minutes later, the information goes really, really down. What you're retaining is decreasing. So your mind and your brain can only take so much. So the more organized you are, the more you can focus on what that matters. That means that, let's say that you're getting a lot of appointments, or you have a lot of, if you're blogging with your henna business, that you have a lot of blog posts coming up, or you're doing some other way to expand your business on Instagram or something. You have a lot of that coming up. Well, organize that. Take a planner or take something where you can organize yourself. Say, on Monday I want to do this, Tuesday I want to do this, Wednesday I want to do this, so that you don't have to think about that part. So you take once a day in a week and you write down the things that you have to do. If your client is calling, oh, I have an appointment, okay, write down the name of the client, the address, the time, what they're getting done, what was your quote with them, all that stuff. Just write it down so it's out of your mind, and you don't have to constantly be like, oh yeah, 3 days from now I have to do this. You're not doing that because you're just You just focused on that day and at that time. As you know, in addition to organizing that aspect, you would still want to organize your supplies, organize everything, you know, where the henna is, the essential oils are, the shallow paper is, the tape is, the business cards are, all of that stuff, you know where they are. So once you have to go get it, you just run and get it. There's not a lot of thinking involved. So that also makes it easier. Another way that you can have organization is automating. When it comes to finances, how you're dealing with paying for stuff, if you're paying for the website, paying for the domain name, paying for whatever, you know, automate that. When you buy business cards, you don't buy them every month. Generally, you buy them, you know, maybe once or twice a year because you want to buy them in bulk. Unless, however you do it, that's your thing. But I don't like to buy everything every month. If I can get like a bulk deal on it, which is great. Normally there is a deal for, and you can also save in shipping. However, however you do it, you know what? Take a little bit every month and save for that, so you're not so stressed out about it when that time comes. Because you know that the extra stress, that extra minute of thinking, that extra thing, it really creates a burden on your brain, and you just don't want to have that, because what you want to focus on is the joy and the creativity and doing henna and just working and interacting with people, you know, doing whatever it is that you do. Organize and also automate as much as you can to make that part a little bit less taxing on your mind. And the third thing I would say is reflection, that you reflect on what you have achieved and accomplished so far. And the reason why I say that, now this is for me, and I don't know if it will work for everybody, but I really think this is a positive thing, because I want to get excited about tomorrow. I want to say, oh my God, you know, next week or next month or tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do for my business. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to film this video. I'm going to, you know, practice this design. I'm going to do this. So it really kind of gives me energy and motivation to keep going. If I don't know what I'm looking forward to, then I'm not going to be that excited to walk towards that destination. You know what I'm saying? So I like to give myself an image. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. So this is what I want to do. And how I do that is by reflecting on what I've already done. So I'm like, hey, this part of my business is going great. You know, I'm doing really good this far on this angle. Or, you know, these designs this month are pretty awesome. And then I'm going to have a little bit of a part where, what can I do better next time? And so, you know, it's like, oh, so I can do this next time. Actionable steps, an actionable goal. It's going to really pull you towards motivation. Like, you're going to find yourself motivated to actually do the things that you want to do in the future. And so I think combining gratitude and organizing the mind and taking that burden off your mind and putting it in somewhere else, or letting the machine or letting the paperwork handle it, and also then reflecting back. I think these three are good ways to find a little bit of a balance between the business and the creative life. When it comes to art in general, whether it's fashion, whether it's, you know, like art, like kind of the art that we do, or poetry or books, whatever, it is very reflective of the environment and what is happening around the artist, right? And so in your household, in the world, what you are exposing yourself to, whether on TV or on your devices or in books and what you're reading, I think it really makes an impact on the amount and the quality of work that you're offering. And so you have to be really careful what you're surrounding yourself with, in addition to how you're managing that. So I hope that this video was useful in finding that balance, into really trying to take that mental stress off and allowing that energy that you have every day to focus on the creative part of henna rather than the business side of it. I would love to hear how you find balance in your business. Like, what do you do to get you excited every day to do henna? What is it that really gets you going? Like, oh, you know, I want to wake up and I want to create today. Like, how do you do that? How do you wake up and say, oh, I have so many ideas in my mind. I want to try this. I want to try this. Like, I would love to hear that. So please leave that in the comment below. And I will see you next time. Until then, henna on.